Good evening. This is CTV News for September 9th. I'm Janine Samuels.
And I'm Patricia Vallone. Thank you for joining us this evening. A woman is dead after getting into an argument with her neighbor in Bladensburg. Keisha Butts has the details.
Police arrest 73-year-old Chun Oh for allegedly killing 82-year-old Hua Pak at a senior living facility called the Emerson House in Bladensburg. The incident happened early Sunday morning, and police say that the two were neighbors. According to a preliminary investigation, Oh struck the victim several times with a brick before she called 911.
Our officers responded to the location, the 5900 block of Emerson Street in Bladensburg, for a welfare check. It turns out that two elderly women had gotten into a physical altercation, and the caller, our suspect, Chun Oh, actually killed the victim, Ms. Pak. So we learned that this started over a dispute. That dispute turned into a physical altercation and ended tragically.
I was shocked. I never, we don't usually have something like that around here. So I've been around here. Nothing like that tragic.
Oh is charged with first and second degree murder. At police headquarters, Keisha Butts, CTV News.
Police are still investigating the incident. If you have any information, you're asked to call 301-772-4925. The National Transportation Safety Board found that the August 2016 explosion at a Silver Spring apartment complex was caused by a failing mercury service regulator. Now a new report by the Maryland Public Service Commission says Washington Gas had both the funds and a timeline to fix what caused the deadly fire that killed 7 people and injured dozens more. The PSC says the utility pledged in 2003 to replace 67,000 of those regulators within 10 years. 3 years after the fire, the commission wants the utility to answer for its perceived inaction. Casa de Maryland has been assisting families who were devastated by the fiery explosion.
Obviously, we're incensed. This is about as bad as it gets when you talk about corporate greed and you talk about just the lack of accountability that we see on the part of this billion-dollar organization. They had 10 years to fix something that was identified in 2003 and was actually given money to make these, given nearly more than $500,000 to make these changes. And you fast forward some 13, 14 years later, you find out that these people had never had no accountability, never reported to the Public Services Commission on how they had advanced the replacement of these mercury regulators. And
CASA is asking state and federal lawmakers to hold Washington Gas accountable for its alleged inaction on replacing those faulty regulators.
It's been about 2 months since President Trump referred to the city of Baltimore as a rat and rodent-infested mess. On Thursday, the president will pay a visit to Charm City when he speaks at a retreat for Republican members of the House of Representatives. The 2019 House Republican Conference retreat goes from Thursday through Sunday at the Baltimore Marriott at the Inner Harbor. It will mark Trump's first appearance in Baltimore since making disparaging remarks targeting the city and Representative Elijah Cummings. Meantime, authorities respond to an abandoned van containing 1,000 gallons of gasoline in a parking garage in downtown Baltimore. Police evacuated buildings and blocked all traffic within a 4-block radius of the building located at 100 East Pratt Street, home of T. Rowe Price, one of the city's largest private employers. The incident is still under investigation.
Attorneys General for 50 states and U.S. territories announced an antitrust investigation into Google, claiming the tech giant threatens competition, consumers, and growth of the Internet. They're also raising concerns about how Google processes search results and its lack of protection of users' personal information. The probe will focus primarily on online advertising, the company's main moneymaker, reportedly profiting for more than $48 billion this year. Google has been in the face of controversy following complaints that they have grown too powerful and undermine rivals.
The internet is free. Certainly we know from Google's profits of $117 billion that the internet is not free. And this is a company that dominates all aspects of advertising on the internet and searching on the internet.
Attorney generals really care about where the rubber meets the road, and that is for the residents of their states and consumers. We also care about businesses, especially small businesses, that may be locked out as a result of what may be monopolistic power.
Google also faces investigations from the Department of Justice, Federal Trade Commission, and the House Judiciary Subcommittee on Antitrust issues.
The Chesapeake Bay Bridge and traffic delays seem to go hand in hand, and it's about to get a lot worse. A 2-year, $27 million rehabilitation project on the westbound span is set to get underway later this month. There will be lane closures during the work, with restrictions lifted during Thanksgiving. The good news is all lanes will be open during next summer's travel season, but lane closures will resume in the fall of 2020. The project should be finished by August of 2021.